Hey everybody, the Reeswerrel here, and welcome back to more of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Alright, I got very confused a second ago, because I basically went along with the dialogue just to make sure everything was okay and I was in the right spot, or that I loaded the right save state. I got very confused, because it seemed like it was the exact same as the previous trial day, so it was just a confusing mess. Either way, let's go! Did I turn this down? Yeah, I did. Good morning, Mr. Wright. Good morning, Maggie. So what do you think is going to happen today, sir? Yesterday's session didn't go so well, and then ended on a giant mystery. That's true. And we still haven't solved a single part of it yet. Are you okay, Nick? Huh? Oh, yeah, of course. I saw that little flash of doubt in your eyes. No! That wasn't doubt, that was, determination. Why don't I believe you? Because it was a bold-faced lie. It's nearly time, Maggie. You'd better get going to the defendant's seat. Roger, don't let me down, Mr. Wright. I'm counting on you. Hey! I can't remember what we found out. Oh no, we got knocked... No, we didn't get knocked out. We got attacked by Armstrong and El Tigre. Don Tigre. Yeah, I was close enough. Hey, pal. Hey, Detective Gumshoe. Quit stressing Maggie out, she doesn't need that. How did you know she was stressed? I was watching through the doorway. God, you creep. Oh. You look like you lost the case already. Show a bit of confidence, will you, pal? Hey, maybe this'll help. Oh yeah, we gave him that. No, we gave him that a while ago, when we found it within Armstrong's, and they said potion box. Aroma box. Have you taken up aromatherapy too? Not in a million years, pal. Don't tell me that you don't remember this thing. Come to think of it, that doesn't look like one of those aromatherapy bottles. This is the small bottle that turned up in Travian's kitchen a couple of days ago. Oh yeah, I forgot she was wearing her maid outfit. Wow, look at all these little bottles. Oh, they're aromatherapy oils. He's got so many they're overflowing onto the floor. Hey, wait a minute. There's one bottle that's different from all the others. Well, what do you know? And it doesn't have a label either. And it doesn't smell. So are we going off of the fact that that's poison? We finally got the analysis results back from the lab. So what is it? Is it the poison? I'm afraid not, pal. It's... Medikit. It's Glenelg's ear medication. Wait, why the hell was that in the kitchen, though? Medication? Yeah, for ears. Topical use only, apparently. Yeah, it's Glenelg's. For ears, you mean... Yeah, it's the medication Glenelg was using for his ruptured eardrum. Oh, maybe Armstrong took it because he has a knack for stealing small things. He stole the Magatama from Phoenix, so that could have just been something he decided to steal. I don't really know. What was Glenelg's ear medicine doing in the kitchen? What about the unidentified fingerprints? Anything on that? Someone screwed up, so they only had time to analyze the contents of the bottle. Another hour and they might have gotten something on the prints, but... that's going to weaken its impact as a piece of evidence. Okay, pal, this is it. Make sure your defense is impregnable today, got it? But it always is. Today's trial. I'm going to expose that guy for what he's done, or my name isn't Phoenix Wright. Yeah, you're going down, Don Tigre. You prick. Alrighty. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. We're in courtroom 4 today. Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Oh! Well, Godot looks... yeah, ready and waiting as always, Your Honor. I love him as a character. He's so cool. Very good. Then we'll get underway at once. Yesterday we heard the testimony of Mr. Victor Godot. You mean the mess. He claims to have witnessed the defendant putting a powder into the victim's coffee. However, the witness's testimony was plagued with a number of problems. The mark on the rim of the cup shows that the victim drank from it with his right hand, but according to the old man's testimony, he picked it up with his left hand. Thank you, Mr. Godot. Furthermore, according to the witness's account, The victim was listening to the radio with an earpiece in his left ear, which was impossible, yeah. Yet the victim's left eardrum was ruptured, which made him effectively deaf in that ear. It's amazing how many contradictions a single case can have, huh, Nick? It is pretty crazy. I love how it goes silent aside from the drinking of the coffee. Also, we're back to Godot's theme. Allow me to enlighten you, Your Honor. The world, you see, keeps turning, and we must turn with it. You've lost me already, Mr. Godot. Don't let the mysteries of yesterday mystify you today. Only losers think like that. You gotta change with the times. That's one of my rules. Are you implying that you've resolved these contradictions? You know the answers to these riddles. The old guy wasn't just throwing seeds in here, he was throwing us off the scent. Ah. And today I'll prove it. I guess we will see, won't we, Godot? Very well, let the first witness take the stand. Who's it going to be? Oh god, that is not what I wanted to see straight away. And you are? Oh my god. Bonjour everyone. I'm Gene Armstrong, the owner and head chef of Tribulations restaurant. Enchanté. Oh my god. Forgive me for asking, witness, but are you a woman? Oh my god, that was just the best. Ooh la la. As you can see, I am le pert and perky gentleman, no? On the day of the incident, you were in Tribulations' kitchen. Isn't that right? With you, monsieur. Everything feels right. Oh, Godot looks like he's into it. Wow, he's totally unfazed. Doesn't anything intimidate this guy? I guess not. I just love the judge. Excuse me for asking, but are you a woman? Even though the guy has a beard. But whatever. I mean, I guess women can have beards too. But it was just very funny. Very well, your testimony please, witness. Please tell the court what happened that day at Tribulations. What? Volunteers? Volunteers. No idea. At Tribulations. When it all happened, there were just 2 customers in my restaurant. I remember I was experimenting with some new art deco that day. Like having a large mirror between the tables, for example. Oui, perhaps that is what the old man was looking at. La cup, la earpiece, and la glasses. You would have seen everything in reverse, no? Oh! Ah, that's why. Okay, if that's true, then that could actually be why Godot was so goddamn so adamant. I was gonna say super mirror, one grand mirror, an enormous, almost enormous mirror. Oh, I was wondering, like, why didn't we think of the possibility of mirrors? But I suppose it would be a really, really weird thing to think of. And suddenly the mystery disappears. Like I said, the world keeps turning, so roll with it. That would explain the coffee cup and the earpiece conundrum. The mirror would have made everything appear back to front. What the heck? It's way too early in the morning for this to be happening to me. So in that case, Godot didn't look directly at Glen Elg, he looked at him through a mirror? It seems a bit weird. Either way, now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Let's do this. At Tribulations. So just 2 customers, which would be Victor Godot and Glen Elg. And who were the 2 customers exactly? Of course, the young man who died, and the other, not so young, man. You are referring to yesterday's witness, I presume? What about the other man Maggie said she saw at the table? I mean, it's pretty obvious who the hell that is. Something tells me Mr. Armstrong isn't planning to disclose his existence. Probably because it screws him over too. We need some hard evidence first before we can bring him up, don't we? Yeah, probably. So I have to try a different approach for the time being. Yeah, my approach is to press everything. Still don't know if this will work. Hold it. Maybe not. Hold it. Yes, that worked. It's very hit or miss. I mean, I'm glad it works, but it is very hit or miss. You're experimenting with Art Deco. Or Deco. Decor? Whatever. How come I never heard about that before today? You are not familiar with the language of interior design, monsieur? Please stay on topic. Now, why didn't you tell the court about this before? But I did, just a few moments ago. Excuse me, Mr. Armstrong. This deco you mentioned, are you referring to some sort of decoction? No. Art Deco. It is a style of design, Your Honor. He's talking about interior design. Walls, ceilings, carpets, that kind of thing. Ah, yes, of course. That deco. Decor. God, deco. It's like the knockoff of the Deku. I was trying to achieve a more effeminate look for my restaurant. I was planning the most bold remodeling of Le Decor. Okay. Having a large mirror between the tables. I can't believe that might have been it. A mirror! How big of a mirror are we talking about here? A massive one. Something about 4 meters wide and, about 2 meters high. That's huge! Let's see, if 1 meter is about a yard. Holy glass in a frame! That's huge! I was intending to install it on the ceiling eventually. The ceiling? Was there a mirror on the ceiling? I don't remember. No, but I decided not to go through with it in the end. What should I do? Should I ask him more about the mirror or not? Nah. I mostly just want to press everything. He couldn't lie about such a huge object like that. Where the hell was the mirror, though? Yeah, it must have been in the restaurant somewhere. Because I don't remember seeing a mirror. So the witness yesterday had seen the victim reflected in a mirror. That's what the old man was looking at. So normally I'd expect people to know the difference between a reflection and a real object. Alright, Godot. Normally? How does normality come into this? That's lame, Trite, even for you. Huh? You're trying to say that if something isn't normal, it isn't possible? Is that it? Where does that leave the porky-headed lawyer and the top-knot chick over there? And the ungodly cool guy with the mask over here? Well, Trite. Not the hair! I do not have a top knot. Mr. Godot is correct. A lack of normality is no basis for discounting an argument. Logic has won the day. The earpiece and glasses, he would have seen everything in reverse. Did he? He said he was holding something with his left, which would have been actually his right. He drank from his... Hang on, that can't have been the case. Even if it was in reverse, he... Oh, wait. Never mind. I was gonna say about the cup. To be honest, just thinking about it in reverse is like hurting my head. So if that was reversed, it would... I don't know. You would have seen it in reverse. There was something Kudo said. The coffee cup, the earpiece, and the HMD. They were all reversed. He said they were in the same ear. Like the earpiece was in the same ear as the HMD. I can't quite remember. Let's think back over Mr. Kudo's testimony for a second, shall we? Wait, do I actually have that? I mean, we technically do. When the incident occurred, I broke the vase at my seat. I'm sorry. I mean, his testimony is real useful. Either way. The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. So yeah, if it was reflected, it would still be correct. You can look me if I'm wrong, it was his left ear, without a doubt. So to summarise... Oh, it was still! We were told the HMD and the earpiece were on the victim's left side, so even if there was a mirror, he saw it on a specific side. It would be on his right. Okay. Now, if Mr. Godot saw all that as a reflection in a mirror, it means both the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right side. You see, monsieur, now that you think about it, it is not so hard, no? Unfortunately, that's where you run into a monumental contradiction with the facts. Oh! If Mr. Godot really did see everything in a mirror, why is it that the HMD is now on the wrong side of the head? Okay. I mean, Victor's testimony does not help me. It just says that he broke a vase. Mr. Wright is correct! If the witness genuinely observed the victim reflected in a mirror, then we would expect the victim's eyepiece to have been over his right eye. How bitter. Try, you should have a taste of this bitterness. It'll calm you down in no time. Are we talking about your coffee, or something completely different? You don't understand the way the witness thinks. How he thinks? You remember this, I presume? Yeah, his haiku thing. The I broke the vase, sorry apology Mr. Godot's sworn testimony. Exactly. The old man has one very grievous habit, other than throwing seeds. The more of an impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. But what's the most striking thing about Mr. Elg? The scouter? Clearly it's a victim's eyepiece. And that's my point. The old man strikes again. Mr. Elg's HMD made a big impression on the old man. Oh god, we're hearing his theme now. I saw the earpiece and those newfangled spectacles he was wearing. Oh yeah, so we're both on his left ear, do you hear? His left ear. Well tried. That's the worst but best impression of Godot ever. Well, I really thought he was old seedy for a minute there. Godot's good. He certainly is. Enough! I must agree that yesterday's witness was irresponsibly rash in much of his testimony. Bad luck, Nick. Looks like the boil of a contradiction you found is just a rash. A mirror can't be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can a lie, or can it lie. So, what exactly was the old man looking at? Fill us in, Mr. Armstrong. Go on, tell the court. We're all ears. I can explain. Please, if you look at La Planta de la Restaurant. So where are the mirrors? The mirror. So is everyone sitting comfortably? Wait, so if Victor was in the top left, then he would have seen— I thought he was sat across from him. He was sat across from him. Either way, the mirror was in the middle of the restaurant, dividing the two halves. There's only one seat from which you could have seen an image of the victim. That was the seat at the table, next to the victims. That is where the old man was sitting. Until a terrible incident occurred, I moved the mirror so it was not in the way. But naturally, I did not touch anything else. I'm almost certain that he was sat across from him. I see no problems with the explanation we have just heard. From the table next to the victims, Mr. Godot could have seen the victim in the mirror. What a naughty little— is it coquette? I am confusing all the men like this. Don't worry about it. We can keep up, except for the guy breaking out in a cold sweat over there again. I hate that guy. You said you didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror. Are you quite sure about that? I have no idea what that word is. Volunteers! Of course. It's just like volunteers. Very well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you please. I'm still adamant he was sat across from him. Was he not? The mirror. Mirror of the restaurant, dividing the two halves. So run this by me again. The mirror was here, correct? Oui. We? Really? Because I know if I were you, I wouldn't have put a mirror there. It would be in the way. Oh, screw you. Look who's talking, Trite. Huh? You're obstructing my view, among other things. But, this is my seat in the courtroom. Tribian's charm is that it gives you the impression that you're the only customer. Temporarily placing a mirror in that spot would hardly be in the way. Unlike you, Trite. I tell you, monsieur, the mirror was there in the middle of the restaurant. Only one seat from which you could have seen an image of the victim. So, and where would that be? Look how you lean towards me. I always attract the younger boys. Maybe I should keep you in suspense a little longer. Mr. Armstrong, tell the court what you know at once. I attract the older ones too. You know, handsome. Shall I tease you too? Oh god. Oh dear. I'm already seeing a very hot someone, so I'm afraid you'll be waiting for a long time. I bet she has mocha cream skin and a cappuccino perfume. I will tell you, there was only one seat from which you could have seen. The last seat at the table next to the victims, that's where the old man was sitting. Still, I don't get it. I'm certain he said something when the incident occurred. Oh! Wait, he broke his vase. Is there anything else? No, I don't want the attorney badge. Do I have anything else? My god, we got a lot of crap. Apron, lottery ticket, coffee cup, oh, crime photo. Hang on. Oh, he's dead. The vase is alive. Could I have said that in a dumber way? The vase isn't broken. It's not alive. Okay, so that's the issue, I suppose. He can't have been at that table because the vase is in... what is it? The vase is not broken. I cannot get my words out. Sheesh. Should I present or press everything first? Yeah, bitch. This piece of evidence contradicts with testimony. With the testimony we have heard, Your Honor. The crime photo? Yeah, if you will have a look. Yes, this photo clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist. What on earth do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? Should not exist? Sounds like you're describing yourself, Trite. Wow! Oh my god. No, if the defense would please clarify its statement. What do you mean? What is the something that should not exist in the photo? Let's switch screen. Bloop. I love being able to do that, it's so cool. It'd be this, man. Device. Where do I have to actually present? Is it anywhere? Probably. Boink. I think it's pretty obvious that this is what should not be in the picture. The vase? What possible connection does that have with this witness's testimony? Your Honor, I'm telling you that there should have been no vase on this table. Because it very clearly contradicts with this piece of evidence. Aha, of course his testimony would come in use. There we go, when the incident occurred, I broke the vase at my seat, I'm sorry. Boom. There is one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Godot broke the vase that was on the table where he was sitting. And yet, as the court can see, there is an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? Because Mr. Godot. Oh my god. Mr. Godot was not, in fact, sitting at the table next to the victim at all. Oh, shut up, Godot. Don't be an idiot, Trite, that's impossible. That seat's the only one Godot could have seen the victim's reflection from. He didn't see his reflection. Exactly. There's only one conclusion we can draw from this contradiction. There was no mirror in Tribulation that day. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie. Oh, mon dieu! Oof. Bum 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 bum. So don't try to confuse the court, Trey. Obviously the witness cleaned up the vase. While the police were taking their time getting to the crime scene. Cleaned it up by getting a new one? Unfortunately, Mr. Godot, that doesn't quite work for me. Mr. Armstrong already testified to the contrary, in his own words. I did not touch anything else except the mirror. Oh! Ooh, he shot it out. Ah, speed drink. Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself? Sniffle. I was right. There was no mirror in the restaurant that day. In light of this revelation, we return back to the original problem. Why did the victim have an earpiece in an ear in which he could not hear? You only get one shot in life. There's no turning back. If you want to claim that mirror wasn't there, Trey, then this problem is all yours. How do you explain what the odd man saw? If I can answer this, then I'll be that much closer to the truth. I can feel it. You're gonna be okay? Can you really solve this contradiction, Nick? There's more than just one, or just this one contradiction, Maya. What do you mean? Remember what Maggie told us? There was another man, okay, at the victim's table. Yeah, but nobody else saw him. There was a sample CD on the victim's table. It all flies in the face of Mr. Godot's testimony. I think I know the reason why nothing in this case is adding up. Well, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer. Yes, Your Honor. The reason behind all the contradictions of Mr. Godot's testimony is simple. Mr. Godot made a mistake, the ear doctor made a mistake, the victim was a phony. I mean, I would probably go with the victim being a phony. That's the one that stands out the most. So both of these basically say, oh, it's all down to a mistake. Whereas that's actually, no, it's a phony. Big fat phony. Alright. Phony! This case is riddled with contradictions. Yet there is one very simple answer that clears them all up. And what is that? The incident Mr. Godot witnessed and the incident the victim experienced were two completely different events. Oh yeah! Wait. That would explain why nobody else saw the victim at the table. Not the victim, the other person at the table. What? Yes, the victim that Mr. Godot saw wasn't Mr. Glenn Elg at all. It was an imposter. A phony pretended to be Mr. Elg. Obviously, unlike the victim, there was nothing wrong with the imposter's left eardrum. That's how he ended up wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake. I love when that happens, it just goes silent, he takes a drink and spits it right back out. Order in the court, settle down or I'll clear the courtroom. Right, Gramps, why don't you clear out of here, huh? What did you say? Troy, are you saying that what Mr. Godot saw was a setup? Yes. Someone pretended to be to be Glenn Elg and acted out the whole coffee poisoning. Of the express purpose of creating a witness out of one Mr. Victor Godot. Get real, Trite, why would anyone want to do that? Isn't it obvious? The thing Mr. Godot was most insistent about in his testimony was... The serving girl brought him a Jabachino, but she put something in it. That's the serving girl right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. It's so hard to believe, but... There was one and only one reason to show Mr. Godot this fake poisoning. To show Maggie Bird in the act of poisoning the coffee. You insinuating that the waitress... Oh, pardon me. In the odd man's story was a fake as well? It's true that there were no other customers in the restaurant at the time, but... It's also true that the chef was there. He would have noticed what was happening. That's right. Well, witness. If your restaurant really was the scene of such theatrics, you would have known about it, correct? Oh la la. This is most difficult for me. Oh dear. Objection! No, it's quite simple. All you have to do is testify. You are under oath, after all. Was there in fact a phony at Tribulations that day? The defense demands that Mr. Armstrong tell the whole truth about what happened. Oh! The defense's request for additional testimony is accepted. You will accurately explain in detail the events in the restaurant that day. Oui. Hey! Oh, he's nearly crying. Poor guy. In the restaurant. The victim, Monsieur Elg, he came to the restaurant alone. I remember the old man arrived not long after him. There were no other customers. When he got word, he won the lottery, so Mr. Elg became very excited. It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred. No, there was no time for a phony to do acting. Just so we're clear, there was no mirror in the restaurant after all. Forgive me, Your Honor. I lied because I wanted this mess to be cleared up quickly. How dare you! What you have just done is commit perjury, Mr. Armstrong. I will decide how to punish you later. Oui. Ah. For now we will hear your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. You took that perjury charge a bit too well. But I'm guessing he'll be in more serious trouble after this cross-examination. Ah. So in the restaurant, he came to the restaurant alone. Was he alone at his table as well? I saw him from the kitchen. Yet the defendant, Miss Bird, remembers it differently. She swears there was another man at the victim's table. Excuse you, Godot. Unfortunately for you, Wright. Yesterday's witness also testified that the victim was alone. Okay, we're kinda screwed then. You know, seeing you squirm like that reminds me of a certain coffee's bittersweet taste, bittersweet bite. What kind of coffee has he been drinking? All kinds. It's not coffee, it's love. It's love that's bittersweet. Hearing why you say that makes her seem wise all of a sudden. Remember the old man arrived not long after him. By old man you mean Victor Godot, correct? Obviously. He comes often for my special coffee. I drank your coffee once, Mr. Armstrong. It's special, I'll give you that. It's worth a sip just for the experience. Oh, you make me so happy, monsieur. You're most welcome anytime. I said it was worth one sip, and nothing more. So, old Mr. Godot arrived at the restaurant around the same time as the victim. Maybe I should ask about his arrival in more detail. How many minutes after? No, what time was it? Out of curiosity, about what time was it when Mr. Godot arrived? Oh no, I cannot remember, monsieur. I believe we were told by a witness yesterday. The crime was reported at 2:25 PM by a kind of scary old man, sir. Does that perhaps jog your memory, witness? Incident happened about 20 minutes after he arrived. So the victim must have arrived between 2 PM and 2:10 PM, no? Just after 2, huh? Thank you for your help in jogging my memory, monsieur. You are wonderful. Can't sit here all the time and do nothing now, can I? Oh my. The time of day will be added to the witness's testimony. Okay, so Monsieur George, everything I do it for you. Merci bien. That's French, isn't it? Ha ha ha! I'm glad at least one person is in a good mood. He's even humming a song to himself. Really? Oh, it's probably the song that Armstrong said. Everything I do it for you. Ah, my. Where do I... No. No, that's the lottery ticket. Oh, there it is. Aha! I figured it would be something to do with the radio. Experience the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life every Monday at 1:30 PM. So it can't have been. arrived just after him not long after 2 PM. Objection! I'm afraid I finally got you, Mr. Armstrong. I have no idea what that word is. What do you mean? At the time in question, the victim was listening to the radio with his earpiece. The show he was listening